Hi, I'm Marii. This is Moments with Marii, a space for healing, soft living, and showing up whole. I'm glad that you're here. As women, a lot of us feel so burnt out with the idea of being like the primary parent because as moms, our children rely on us for everything before they rely on anybody else. And you really start to lose yourself as a mom, even if you have a village to help you. And when you really sit and think about it, it's crazy because we are responsible for caring for these little humans when we barely even grew up knowing how to really take care of ourselves. We don't know how to prioritize ourselves because we weren't told to do so, especially as young girls. And we have a lot of us now that are on healing and self care journeys and self discovery journeys, but we can't stop being a mom at the end of the day. We have to always show up and be gentle and be present for our kids. And a lot of us are still learning how to undo those patterns that we were taught from our upbringing. And we have to translate that into breaking generational curses with our babies. And that might not always be in a standpoint of wealth and resource, just in the way that we treat them, the way we speak to them. And whether we realize it or not, what we're doing as moms is magical. What we're doing as moms is so beautiful and commendable. And it's magical. That's the best way. That's the best way to explain it. Now, I have an 8-year-old daughter. She's 8 years old. She is full of love and light and sunshine and rainbows and everything bright and popping that you could think of in the world. That is who she is. And I make a joke sometimes and I tell people like this is who I was before like the world scarred me. You know, before I got scarred with trauma and like all bad things that happened in the world, that was me. Like I was so full of life. She is so silly and she's creative. And she just has so much to share, so much to express. Like she always has something to say. She also has something to ask. And I remember when I was 8 years old, I was the same way, but like my environment was a little different. I was too much. I was too loud. I talked too much. I need too much. I had to be quiet. And I internalized that. And that taught me to be hyper independent today. But I tried to do different with her. Like I tried to let her express herself, even though it's a lot sometimes, but I let her express herself. I let her be herself. And I never forget, it was a couple years ago. I think she was like 5 at the time. She was getting dressed, probably going to school or something. And her outfit looked a little like I wouldn't wear it, right? So I told her, like, can you go change this because it don't match and it look a little awkward. And she said to me, I don't care how it looks. I'm going to wear it because I like it. And I know that if I was to say that at my age, I probably would have got popped in the lip. But I looked at her and I was like, you know what? Hell yeah. In my brain, of course, I didn't say that to her, but I was like, you know what? Hell yeah. Like, who cares what people think? If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Now I did use that opportunity to kind of like teach her. So like I would like, have, we would put outfits together. I'd be like, oh, this matches this color. It doesn't, isn't this kind of, I use a more of a gentle way to kind of like help her get her outfits together. But I did not want to dim her light because I know that's where her confidence gets built. It gets built in her self expression. Her self expression will be through the way she dresses, through the way she speaks, through the art that she does, and the things that she chooses to do. So it was really important for me to make sure I don't dim her light. Now, before embarking on this healing journey, she was probably about 5 when I started really trying to heal myself. I realized that I was taking out a lot of frustrations on her. Like, if she was expressing this level of free will and, super, I don't want to call it super, but being so comfortable in her self expression, I had the urge. I didn't always do it, but I had the urge to just like tell her, like, be quiet, stop doing that. But over time, I had to realize that I need to heal that version of myself. Like I had to heal that inner child that when I tell myself, you don't have to do that, stop doing that. I think you're a little bit too loud. They were probably offended by this. I had to like heal that version of myself because ultimately it was going to affect her. She's just going to be her regular old self. And me being reactive was, in a way, just a mirror to what I was going through inside and what I was put through and what I'm still putting myself through. And I remember making a TikTok video before saying that, like, God forbid I become the parent that my children have to go to therapy and heal from. Like, I would lose my brain. I would lose my mind just to think of the fact that I put my children through any type of circumstance that they have to now heal from. Like, I know what it's like to go through that, and I do not wish that on them. And it's even harder when you have a daughter, like that feeling that you have. It's even worse because, God forbid, she's 16, she's 26, and she doesn't have that safe space that she could just come to you with what she's experiencing. Ugh, I don't know what I would do to myself. And I can't lie, like sometimes her free spirit and her impulsivity, it gives me anxiety sometimes. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it does. But that anxiety quickly goes away when I realize that she's just being herself, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Healing while raising a daughter, with all that being said, man, the mirror that gets put up to you of the unhealed version of yourself, the parts of you that you didn't even realize needed healing. Like, when I see my daughter, and she is bougie. Like, I remember she used to come from school and she would put on makeup and she would carry a purse and carry her iPad and walk down to the living room and just sit with her iPad with her purse. Like, and like I would have, like I said earlier, like I would have this urge to be like, stop doing that. Like, why are you doing that? Why are you playing with this makeup? But then, like, I stopped myself. And not only do I stop myself, I enjoy her being a girl. Like, I love seeing her be a girl and just enjoy that femininity that she's going to eventually exude. Like, I'm excited to see the type of girl that she's going to become. But back to the mirror, it puts the mirror to my face about how I struggle with femininity. Like, how there's a lot of things I feel like I don't have to do, or it's not that serious. But doing those little things, like, yeah, maybe putting on a little mascara or making sure my jewelry looks nice, even just to run errands and things like that. Or making sure I coordinate my outfit instead of going out in like pajamas and sweats or whatever. Those are the things that I feel like make me feel a little more centered. Like, it reminds me that healing is also about unlocking those parts in you that just make you feel good. You know what I mean? And it's a beautiful thing to have in my journey now that she is of an appropriate age, that me and her could have like mommy daughter days where we do skincare or we go shopping or we go do our nails. Like, even though we never feel perfect as parents, we never feel perfect as mothers, I'm doing a good job imperfectly. And she reminds me of that all the time. She reminds me that no matter how badly I feel like I'm doing or how much I'm not showing up the way I wish I can show up for her, the way I show up is so greatly appreciated by her. And I have to be appreciative of that too. I have to be proud of showing up in the ways that I can. One thing about her is that she loves me out loud. She gives me like a million kisses and hugs all day. And if you did not grow up in a very affectionate home, you could know, you would know how, like, it's a little awkward, just a little bit. It's very much like a little, yeah, it's awkward, but the awkwardness instantly goes away because you know that's your baby. Like, it's the love that you're pouring into her that she's pouring back into you. And it's a feeling that I can't even explain. I can't explain it. But with that being said, there was a day that I was driving her to school and she asked me, I don't know why, she asked me, like, Mom, what is it like being a mom? And I'm like, why are you asking me that? She's like, because I'm scared to be a mom. In my brain, I'm like, girl, you're only 8. Like, why are you thinking about when you become a mom? But I had to think about how to answer her. And I told her, it's interesting. I just told her that it's an interesting feeling because I always want to feel like I'm doing the best for you. And sometimes I don't feel like I'm doing the best for you. but you always remind me that what I'm doing is the best. Like, I'm doing the best I can, and you see it and you realize it. And I think that's the epitome of being a mother. And in that, I noticed that the more I heal myself and care for myself, the more I'm able to pour that love into her. And this is why it's important to understand that while you're healing as a parent, you're going to feel weak, you're going to feel dumb, you're going to feel overwhelmed, you're going to feel ugly, but they don't see any of that. So why should you see that in yourself? They see the little things that you do that make their day. So why is that not enough for you? And that's an overall theme in healing, if you ask me. The overall theme is like, I say this a lot in a lot of my content. It's like the small acts is what makes the big progress. It's those little things that you don't realize that you do that is going to take you very far in healing. And it's one of those things you won't realize until like you're 6 months or 1 year ahead and you really start looking back. And you have to remind yourself that every time the needle moves a little bit towards becoming that better version of yourself, you have to celebrate that. You have to commend yourself for it. We always have to reflect positively on how far we've come, even though it may not be as far as we wish we were. And the reason why is because it's not a sprint, it's not a race, it's a journey. This is a journey. This is a lifelong journey because as time progresses, you will evolve and you'll continue to learn more about yourself and improve on yourself. So ultimately, healing while raising a daughter has just taught me to take it easy and love myself. And that there's parts of myself that I need to water because it's been dried for so long. And once I just start watering it a little bit every day, just a little bit every day, it's going to slowly blossom. And we're going to have that life altering and completely changed version of ourselves before we even know it. We're not even going to realize it. We're just going to be better. And I think that's the beauty of healing while raising a daughter. If I was healing without any kids or anything, I don't think I would have healed as hard as I have so far. And it's a big thing for me to say that because sometimes I feel like I'm not doing what I need to do. But when I'm able to have somebody show me so much love that she shows me, and I think about like, damn, like she really think I'm superwoman. Like she thinks I'm everything. And then at the end of the day, it's like, hell yeah, I am. You know what I mean? I'm superwoman. I'm doing the damn thing. And I have to commend myself for it all the time, every day. And if you're a mama who's on a journey to healing, let me know some things that you're learning as you're healing and parenting at the same time. And let's discuss about it. Thank you for spending a moment with me today. I really hope that this resonated with you. And if it did, make sure that you share it with someone that you love. Also, make sure that you're following up on all platforms to stay up to date with Moments with Marii. Until next time, be gentle with yourself.